Talk to us about a little bit about what you're seeing in the housing market post-COVID. Well, actually, not I mean, during COVID. Let's be
Okay, yeah,
realistic.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
during COVID.
I mean, for us in LA, it's actually been quite an interesting time. When COVID first hit, you saw a lot of stuff, a lot of buyers fall out. A lot of things thought, oh, there's going to be a market crash. Everyone's been talking about a crash. We've got the election coming up in November, so everyone was very angsty. But actually, what we saw was actually a lot of houses still closing because it sort of cut the wheat from the chaff, and people that were serious were closing on homes. What I'm seeing now is everyone, again, there's a lot of people saying different things. I'm hearing, oh, there's not a lot of inventory. Well, actually, when I look out there is a lot of inventory. But what there isn't a lot of inventory, and that is good quality, well laid out new homes. There's a lot of crap out there, and there's a lot of people out there now who have an inflated idea of what their house is worth. So what I'm seeing is a lot of price corrections of overinflated pricing. And so some of that sort of stuff is sitting and is sort of slowly coming back down. But the stuff that's good, it's got a good floor plan, good views, well designed, is going like that. I mean, we sold our last house in 3 weeks for basically asking price.
Right. Buyers are willing to pay for quality, for good homes,
right.
For properties that they don't have to do anything to.
Exactly.
And then they're discounting for homes where they feel they'll actually have to invest in. It'll take their time to remodel. All of these things that they just want to move in, pay for the home, and enjoy it immediately.
Exactly. And then also at the lower end of the market, you've got a lot of people who are now working from home full time. They've got a couple of kids running around the apartment, and they need to get out. Like, it's not workable. How do you do it if you've got a child, you've got a wife, you and your wife are working from home. You've got to get out of these apartments. So a lot of people, like the lower end of the market, is sort of $1 million, $1.5 million market. There's sort of new homes or starter homes. That's what it costs in LA. Starter homes,
yeah,
$1.5 million. That market is hot because people are desperately trying to get into it. They're selling their apartments. They're trying to get into this. So for me, the confidence is still there. With the election coming up, you always see a slowdown approaching it. We saw that in the last election. But then as soon as the election is over, it doesn't matter who gets in, whether it's Biden, whether it's Trump, if it had been Hillary, it goes back up again. I think if Sanders had got in, maybe there'd have been a little bit of a different reaction. But still, I see it. Every time market slows down, as soon as the election comes up, bam, there's a feeding frenzy again.
Yeah, we do have statistical information about that, and we can absolutely look at our graphs for that.
Right. So, overall, I'm very confident about the market. Are we due a recession? Yeah, we are. So are we going to see a dip? Maybe. Maybe we're going to see a dip in 10-15%. Okay. Well, I factored that in. But honestly, in this premium market, and if you look the same in the London markets, the last recession, if there's a dip, you get a 5% dip. You get the Russian and the Chinese coming in, and you think, right, great, I get a bargain, and they're buying stuff up. And it's the same in LA. It's the same in New York.
We're fortunate in, and you mentioned an interesting aspect about Los Angeles is that depending on what happens in the US market, that's when our location tends to pull in foreigners who recognize value and then reinvest when Americans aren't investing in it. And it actually then helps bolster our local economy as well, too.
Yeah.